Hi, let me add you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
God, I'm good. God, it's just so long since I've seen you.
No, it's been a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Keeping busy somehow during
Good.
all of this. How about you?
Same, actually, same. Online stuff, which is
Yeah,
big for a lot of artists out there to still keep things going and moving for the generation out there because it's a tough time, a really
it's
tough for everybody.
really
So yeah, good, good.
amazing. Okay, great. It looks like we're getting quite a few people joining, so we'll just get started. And yeah, so I want to thank you firstly for coming onto my live. I really appreciate it. Done quite a few now, and I think each time we do them, they're super insightful. Um, I enjoy them. I do them just for myself, to be honest. So they're really great. But we always start the conversation because it's just really nice to hear about people's how they started their careers. I think we don't always hear that all the time. So I'd love to hear about how you got into dance and how that all started for you.
Okay, so I was 4 when I started. I started with ballet,
Okay.
and spent a couple of years doing that, and then also got into gymnastics as well at the same time. And it was quite difficult because ballet and gymnastics like contradict each other. With
Yeah.
kind of, I had to choose one or the other, so I went with the gymnastics.
Okay.
And it was quite, yeah, it was a successful short journey, but
Yeah.
successful. And I tell you what, honestly, I learned so much through gymnastics that I've brought through into dance with me now, and the sort of level that
Yeah.
you have to meet and you've got to work at is huge.
Mm.
So I'm all for that. I did it until I was 14,
Okay.
with injury, back injury.
Okay.
So I said, you'll end up in a wheelchair if you carry on. So it
Oh
was
God.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty intense, and having that kind of disciplined lifestyle for a long time and then having to
Yeah.
stop was like a
Yeah.
real
You can imagine.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of, it took me back, and it was kind of like, what am I going to do? Like, what,
Mm.
with the gymnastics, I was taken out of school and had to leave school early and train. I was training 5 6 days a week. My parents were just committed fully to
Yeah.
taking me back. And so yeah, I had to make this decision to obviously stop. And always enjoyed the floor side of it though, with the gymnastics. You know, you do the tumbling, but you add your
Yeah.
pose here and there. And I
Yeah.
that's the way. And so yeah, I took kind of a jump into that, and chose to move towards dance. And I trained at a local school at home, with a bit of tap, modern, ballet and jazz, all of that. And kind of learned a lot from my old teacher Debbie.
Yeah.
Helped me and give me an insight to assisting her and things like that. I mean, I had so much to learn, and because it was a bit of a shock to the system, I was still kind of a bit going with the flow with it, because I think when you know you want to go for it, so you're all in. But this kind of, the gymnastics was that, and then I
Yeah.
got like, I was just kind of riding with it. Um,
Yeah.
and then things kind of picked up a bit. Like, I kind of felt like, oh my god, okay, I do want to do
Yeah.
this.
Some
I,
direction again.
I want to follow this through. And I then, after that, went to a few summer schools. I did a college. I did a diploma course in Shrewsbury, actually, which is, I live in Shropshire, so this is like in the middle of nowhere, full of
Yeah.
sheep and
Yeah.
fields.
Yeah.
Now I'm older, so I did a diploma course there, and then kind of travelled out and went to some school in Nottingham, Midlands Academy of Dance, and
Yeah.
that was a bit of everything. So at the time, my mindset was quite stuck on like street and
Yeah.
hip hop. So this was like, well, if you're coming here, you need to sing, you need to do music,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And for me, I understood that I needed to do all of that, but I was so fixated on street and hip hop. And it
Yeah.
was hard because I think majority of students there were wanting to do the whole musical theatre.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I came away after a year, so I didn't complete the course because I felt unhappy and I
Yeah.
couldn't really what I wanted to fulfill. And I was told a couple of times that you're not gonna succeed if that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
And it was quite damaging. I felt
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Imagine.
hard, confidence and things like that. It was when my heart was set on something. It was really kind of take that on and think, okay, well, I understand that I'm going to have to adapt to other things, which I'm open to doing. But I'm not happy here. And my mom and dad were paying, bless them. And I just thought, I can't fulfill this and continue to do this.
That you realise that, I think it's better to do that than to stick with something that's just not working.
Well, and now I feel, because years ago I'd have kind of moments where I'd think, oh, you didn't complete it. As I've got older now and things have changed, I see things and feel things differently, and I'm glad that I came up with something that wasn't making me happy. And that's at the end of the day what we all need to feel, and whatever it is that you want to do is just be happy with it.
100%.
It's just honestly the forefront of everything, that you go with it if it makes you happy. And I came away from that and kind of hung around in Nottingham because that's where it was, the college. Friends that were telling me about a competition that was on in Nottingham, and I was like, oh my God, forget it.
What competition was it?
Pardon?
What competition was it?
MTV Shakedown.
Oh, you were like cutting out little bits. Your voice just cuts out for like a second. I'm not sure why. So you cut out. Yeah, cut out again. I hear you, and then suddenly you cut out for like a second. Was it MTV? Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a group of dancers that I knew in Nottingham, and they were all getting ready to go to this competition. They were telling me, "Oh, Hollie, you should come along," and I was like, "No way!" I was like, and it was like street hip hop in the day, they called it, which really wasn't hip hop. And I just said no, because I'm not ready. This is what I want to do, but I've had no kind of training or background in this at all. And they were good friends. They were just kept poking and just like, come on, just come for the crack. So I went for the and I thought, let's just see how many people want to do what I want to do in the industry that I want to go into. And there were loads. There were loads of people at this audition, and for me it was the first real insight into this like kind of industry. And it was crazy. And we did the audition and I got through, and I was like, okay. And my friends that I went with, like, we parted because I moved forward and obviously they didn't get through. And it was just like, what's going on? Like, because it was that close to just not going, because I just felt like I wasn't ready. And then I went on to win. God. When I think about it, it's just bad when I think about it, because I just, you know how life just goes by so quickly. You move on, this and your next thing. I don't think I've ever taken time to actually process things. And when I talk about it, obviously with this, like, I feel like it's a two-way thing. Like, I'm very grateful that you've asked me on to share my story, and to help anyone who's up and coming with this, to any sort of like insight or advice. At the same time, like, I'm going back to memories, which sometimes you need to do, I think, because we just keep going forward.
I think
And
it's so easy, yeah, for sure. I think it's so easy to kind of forget your accomplishments, and just because you're kind of like, as soon as you finish it, you're like, right, next thing, and you don't actually realize it in that moment, like, oh, actually, that was amazing.
that's
I did really well.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I think I don't tend to go back in that way, you
Yeah,
need to sometimes. And,
100%.
you know, it was a hell of a challenge, and that was my real, for me, that was like the breakthrough into the industry. It was like, wow, okay.
Yeah,
uh,
amazing.
Winning it, and Wade Robson was a judge on there. There was Lavelle Smith Jr. There's a female which I can't, Bixler, oh god, what's her name, she's an artist as well. There were three of them, and yeah, it was epic. Just literally, like, I think the thing is with me, it's when I want something, I'll
Yeah,
do everything in my power to
yeah.
commit 1,000. And yeah, it led to going on to my first agency in London, and being in Ashanti's music video, Only You, which was shot in Mexico. So for
Oh,
me, that
wow.
was, yeah,
That's like incredible.
it was all quite overwhelming, like, and it happened obviously, like I mentioned earlier, like with the not even wanting to go, and then it all led to this. And I just so grateful. I learned so much on the way. I needed to
What,
toughen up on the way.
what an
But
amazing start to your career, though. Like, what a great way
yeah,
to literally like a huge kickstart.
it literally, it was. And I feel like within my career, I'm grateful for all the good and all the not so good, because it's molded me. And I've definitely, coming from where I live is countryside, and it's
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
and it's,
I'm from the same. I'm from the same. I'm
you
from the
are,
countryside as well. Yeah, I'm from like a little town near Milton Keynes, like a little town called Buckingham. Just like nothing going on, just fields and a town
that's it,
centre. Yeah,
that's it. And it's a totally different energy and pace.
yeah,
So
100%.
I think for me, there's definitely, and still to this day, even though I'm in my 30s now, and there's still, I'm learning every single day, and learning a lot
Yeah,
about myself, learning about what I've been through and how I need to try and turn it around to help
mm,
me move forward, rather than keep looking back and absorbing that.
yeah,
And it's hard, and this type of industry, it's always pressure. It's pressure with what you look like. Are you
yeah,
good enough? Have you got, you don't look right, so forget the talent. It's you don't. And for me, I think that's been a massive thing, where I get that you need to, if it's a certain job, look a certain way, but I'm just, it's about what you do and what comes from here. And the work people may put in from the lead up, and it's a difficult game, and it's always a competition.
yeah.
It's a competition.
I think it's crazy how like when you just compare it to other industries and say you go for an audition and there's like 100+ dancers there, all going for the same job of like five dancers. But like in the real world, if say you're just going for like, I don't know, a standard office job, or you work in like business or something, you would never go against that many people for a job. It's
Never.
crazy. Like when you think about it like that, you're like, what? Like,
Totally. I
ridiculous.
think I think because of do it because we're in it, and we adapt quick, and we just get used to the fact that that's how it is. And
Yeah,
only until, I think, you come out of it, or you step back, or you
yeah,
look at a type of line of work, that you think, Jesus, like, what we have to do, and what entails on this journey is just, it's mad. And
yeah,
it's hard to kind of have enough peace and focus to be relaxed enough to kind of go through it in a calm
yeah.
and trustful way, if you know what I'm saying, because it's so easily impacted from your surroundings. It's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard. But
I feel
yeah,
that.
way to start, and I'll forever be grateful for the way things just, you know, from coming from gymnastics, and that for me at the time, that was the career, that was what I was going to be, was a gymnast.
Yeah, yeah,
For it to have gone into the career the way it did, I always count my blessings for that, because, you know, I was successful with my gymnastics, and that was the career that I thought I was doing. But then to come out of that because of an injury, and then not know, and then go into this, I'll forever be grateful for it.
yeah,
But I work, don't get me wrong, I work, I do
yeah.
work.
I can imagine.
You have,
For sure.
you have to.
Yeah. Just going back on like what you were saying there about how the industry, you know, you're dealing with the expectations, let's say, of the industry. Did you find like find? I can't speak. Did you find that like moving through your career, um, that you found it? Because obviously, when you start out and when you're younger, it's a different story. But as you kind of go older and you grow through your career, did you find there was any ways that you coped with that better, or just maybe was more aware of it, or kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. In all honesty, I
Mm.
I struggled with it all,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's the
Yeah,
truth.
no, no.
I
Yeah, I
can't,
don't know anything about that industry either. It's not something I
I
too.
can't. Yeah, I can't sit here and I can't front and pretend, and I'm not going to do that, because
I
being
don't.
true,
Yeah.
it's it's been a struggle, and it's
Mm,
been, for my character, really hard to adapt to, and
mm,
I can't adapt to it, because there's just a way that it goes and flows, and just doesn't seem to sit quite right with me. So it's
mm.
always been a strange things have within the industry, and kind of the environments and things like that. Um, and just the way it makes me feel, it's not necessarily a certain situation, but
Yeah,
it's just what the way things work and the way things go, and it has I would say it's definitely always been a fight, and it
yeah.
continues to be a fight in a sense, um, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, no, thank you for speaking honestly about it because I think a lot of people feel that way. And I think maybe they don't always voice it because it's like, no, 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 just, put in the face, show that we're amazing and just carry
Yeah.
on. So yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I'm sure people watching will appreciate that too. Okay, great. Let's move on to another question. Um, do you have like a part throughout your career that was just like a highlight, like maybe one job or like a period of time where you're just like, this is
um
this.
Gosh, so I think that well, I've got quite a few highlights, actually. That's one
Yeah,
thing. Anyone asks a question, I can never just go, don't. It's like
yeah, that's great. I want to hear,
um
we'll hear all that.
God, I think, well, one of them that we were talking about is the MTV Shakedown. That was a highlight, that
Yeah,
competition and what it led to. And then the second competition I did was 2006 on BBC One, Strictly Dance Fever with Graham Norton. And that was dancing with my partner, my favourite partner in the world, Darian Wright. And I tell you
oh,
what, the journey that we shared together, it is a memory that hugely will stay with me forever, because we both went through such a dramatic, stressful process with this competition, because we would have to learn new styles every week, which I
yeah,
hadn't known before,
yeah,
and number, and then you're live on TV on the Saturday.
that's
Not only
crazy.
dance journey, it was a different type of journey that we both experienced, and we both brought the best out in each other, and which led to us both winning at the end, which was just all that hard work and stress just paid off, and we were just, it was so overwhelming, and so that was definitely a highlight, because that then for me led into the musical theatre world.
Lovely, yeah,
uh,
yeah,
things from that was Footloose. I went into Footloose with Darian, amazing experience, and that led into musicals from there. Footloose, I did Fame, Michael Jackson, Thriller Live, which was just my, that's a highlight.
Yeah.
That's a highlight.
Yeah, I could imagine you love, yeah,
That
you
is
love
my biggest inspiration. Michael
just
Jackson.
everything to you.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
I danced. He just had so much to share and give to the world. So yeah, definitely. And I would say Pied Piper was a highlight for me with Ken Ricks and Mikey J. That's a highlight.
Yeah.
And being a ninja in an orange mobile phone advert that I had to do, it honestly was bad. Doing flips in the Barcelona. We shot it in Barcelona, so well, there was Lisa Wellham, Kofi Mingo, a parkour guy called Blue, and myself, and we were all doing all different tricks to make this advert. We all had suits, these massive ninja suits, and definitely for me, that's definitely a highlight. So I'm sorry I can't give you one. There's loads.
No, it's fine. I know. I really enjoyed hearing about them all. Amazing. Okay, so there's something I always ask every live, and it's if someone could go to you and like say the start of your career, maybe before you entered that competition or whenever, was like if you felt like was a starting point for you and just said, here's one bit of advice going forward. Do you know what that could be? Or if you've got more, that's fine.
Yeah. Or I would definitely say believe in yourself and love yourself unconditionally, and trust your be strong enough to say no if it doesn't fulfill you. And for the big one is, which I'm still teaching myself now, I'm still learning and trying to grasp, it's okay to be different, and it's okay. And
sorry, you cut out then. And it's okay to what? Sorry, you said it's okay to be different.
Yeah, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to not fit in. We weren't able to adapt to surroundings and to people, and sometimes I feel like, especially with this sort of industry, this is an industry where you compare, and we all do. I've done it. I compare myself. You lose yourself because you're comparing too much, and you focus so much on everything else other than who you are and what do you like, what do you want to do.
It's so bad.
You might want to do what actually nobody else is doing around you, and that's why sometimes you avoid it, because it's not what everybody else is doing. And I'm a firm believer in it's about being unique, and unique is really being you, because there's not another person, there's not another you, Fern. There's not another me.
No,
and
not at all.
I just wish this energy was spread out more to fill rooms, fill auditions, fill surroundings that made you feel like, not, oh, I need to be doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I feel I want to do. Like, for me, that, Yeah,
and I think that's a great bit of advice, because I think once you kind of realise that, you'll find more enjoyment within your career as well.
Definitely.
And like 100%, I think once you kind of realise, okay, actually, why am I trying to fit to that mould? Like I guess with you when you went to college, it didn't suit you, didn't feel like you fit in, it wasn't making you happy. Once you realise that, you move on to better things.
Definitely, and it's not easy, and I want to stress that, like, for anyone who's struggling, and I'm still in a place where I'm not I've got over the other side and everything's great, because that's not, it's a long process and it's a long journey to slowly. Yeah, definitely. So we're, as much as I mean Instagram's prime example. We tend to only want to put the things out there that show our best, or what we think people want to see. And in actual fact, like, everyone's going through something. I put up a post the other day, story actually, and you don't know people that you don't know. You don't know what they're going through, and even people that you do know may necessarily never talk to you about struggles that they've got going on inside. And I think it's just, I wish the world could be a little bit more understanding and take time to care about things like that. Judging is so easy to judge, you know, and I mean, my Instagram, I use it really as more professional than anything. I get the odd selfies here. We all love a bloody selfie, but I choose to be professional and put positivity out there, but that doesn't mean that I'm always having amazing days, because
of course.
I'm not. And so I just want, you know, people to know that they're not on their own with that, and regardless of whatever people choose to put out there, that's not how it is, and you're not on your own with things that you may feel like, well, why am I going through this, and why haven't I got that and this. I think it's important to start sharing more of the things that we all need help with and struggle with.
And exactly what you're saying there, like, I agree 100%, and I think it definitely relates to our industry. Like, as dancers, it's so easy to just be like, become Instagram famous, or, you know, look at an amazing dancer, but there is a lot of struggles that come with being a dancer, and like, it's really nice to hear you talking about them, like someone who's as successful as yourself, to say, you know what, they're real. I feel it too. Like, it's really nice to hear. Not nice, like, I don't want you to feel like that, but it's reassuring to hear.
And that's it. And that's, I feel like that's one of the things that, you know, with this talk and talking to you is something that I wanted to do for others, but also do for myself, is speak the truth. You know, it's good to keep saying how well you're doing and whatnot, but we're not always doing good. And it is important. That's something that, you know, I'm learning, that it's okay to not be okay, because I'd always see it as a problem. I'm a problem. I'm not okay. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? So yeah, people, you're not on your own. You're really not on your own, no matter how things look. And I got a lot of fight in me, no matter how bad.
I can feel it. I can feel it. It's good energy.
That's good. That's good. That's important, because it's.
I can feel it through the screen. All the screens. That's actually all my questions. I mean, I'd just like to have little chats. I feel like this has been a great chat. My company that I'm building, this arts organisation I'm building, is aimed at like early career dancers, dance graduates, and just kind of how I can help support them with their careers early on. When I graduated, it was only like 4 years ago now. I was just like, oh, like shit. Do you know what I mean? For me anyway, it felt like I was just like, okay, now I feel like I've got to start again after university. So that's why I've created this platform. So anyone who's watching, if you need help, just message me. I'm like calling and speaking to a lot of people at the moment, so feel free to message me. If you have any advice, like, do you think about
I think it's great.
Do you see any kind of early stage? Oh no, not necessarily. I didn't mean necessarily about what I'm trying to do, but
say that I think it's really important with this is what you're doing, and bringing people on board who have had an insight in the industry, who can come from experience, and also give the up and coming generation an insight to, you know, how it is and what people do. And so I think it's really, really good what you're doing for people out there.
I appreciate it. So that's just kind of what I think. Like, there's so many people that know stuff, so let's just ask them. I think we always ask. I think sometimes you can be kind of afraid to ask, but I was like, kind of spirit. Let's ask everyone.
No, good.
So thank you for coming on. Do you know, kind of, as like I ask this question sometimes, looking at, I don't know if you work with any kind of, like, you teach, I guess, so you might do like early stage dancers or dance graduates. Do you kind of see any issues that you think might face them? Like, not issues, I don't want to say struggles. I always say the word struggle, and I don't like the word, but maybe challenges that you kind of see dancers starting out in this industry now. Like, is it changed in your opinion?
Oh my God, massively. I'm old.
Oh, can't be that old.
No, I am. Honestly, literally, like, it's changed so much. So much since, I mean, when I was in the game, and you know, my friends that I was in the game with, you know, back then, like, I'll say the same thing. Music's changed, styles changed,
Yeah.
energy's changed.
Yeah. Do you think for the
Um,
better? Maybe. Maybe not. Nah.
I I'm thinking about it, but the only reason why I'm pausing is because of self-experience from
Yeah.
when I just feel, I mean, even just talking about the music, like, yeah, okay, there's some dope tracks out there, but at the same time, I feel like the music back in the day had a lot to do with the energy that came from the music that was put into the room and put into the ears and put into the body, and it was
Yeah.
continuously positivity with sick beats, with positive lyrics, positive
Yeah.
stories. Um, it was all, that's the key word for me. It was just very positive. And I feel like, I mean, this is probably showing my age now, but a lot of the music that I listen to now, I feel like it doesn't give me any incentive to want to get up and move to, because there's a lot of swearing in, or it's talking about chicks or guys, and for me, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. At the same time, I want a cause. Like, I want a reason to dance, or I want a
Yeah.
song to lift me, to give me that energy to just, I want to vibe and have fun with it.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
wrong, I can go deep, and I do prefer going deep. But again, that's telling a story. And I think for me, yeah, it's changed. But at the same time, I do have to say that the ability level now in the
Yeah.
world generation, I have to take my hats off,
Yeah.
regardless of, how my personal feelings are towards that, because I experienced that side, because I was there. Obviously,
Mm.
the younger, newer generation are coming up into this, and that's all they know. But the
Yeah.
talent is just unspeakable. It's incredible, and the level is mad. It's a madness. So there's constant inspiration out there on that level all of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. Has anyone got any questions? I'm just going to scroll back because I think there was a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
comments. So I'm just going to see.
Hi,
Ooh.
guys.
Hi, hi, everyone.
Hey, hey.
I think a lot of people kind of dip in and out. Okay. Um, I still feel like I'm rubbish at this. Oh gosh. No. I don't know. I'm just so. Oh, I keep getting my keypad up. I don't want to put a note. I don't want a message. I'm on here. All right. No. Oh, come on, Fern. There we go. All right. I'm scrolling. I feel like there was a couple. Got a couple emojis. Got some love hearts. We don't always see how great to do until we look back. Yeah, for sure. Definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I think that's
Yes.
Holly, you can dance in any space. She said the box room at college and didn't stop perfecting her craft. Oh, to be in our teens again. I'm not sure that is. I'm sure you probably know him.
Joy.
Or
Yeah. Yeah.
Mrs. Joyce. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Oh my God, Holly, is that you? Hello, world. Hardest worker. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I think I've scrolled to the end. Oh no, still going. Lots of emojis. It's oh now I'm going from the top again. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. Okay, so confused. I mean Michael Jackson is the one for me, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
Sharon.
Yeah, yes to the
100%.
old music. Yeah, the old bangers. I love the old music. Like I don't like the music. I just want to jam as well. So I'm there
Yeah.
with you that. I just want to
No,
jam.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom and dad brought me up on, oh my God, I don't think many people will know, but Michael Bolton, Chris Isaac,
Yeah.
um, Chris Rea, um, and for me, it just put so much soul into me,
Yeah.
and just made me just, I mean, music, I just appreciate music. And that's the forefront of, that's what gives you the energy and into wanting to move. So I think the music is so important, really, to help you express whatever
Yeah.
you want to express or share or release. And I mean, it's a massive release for me a lot of the time.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. feel like I had something on my mind. It's gone. Oh yes. Do you have any like anything you're working on? Like how have you been coping in lockdown? Have you been working? Where you at?
Lockdown. Yeah, it's again, honestly, it's been like this.
Yeah.
Moments of feeling, get yourself together, get up, make that
Yeah.
choice to do it. And then other days, I
Yeah.
don't want to
It's
get
like
up.
that.
I don't want
Yeah.
to do it. I can't be bothered to do that. Not today, not
Yeah.
tomorrow, not the next. And so it's definitely been like this. I think when I'm on it, I am on it. But when I'm
Yeah.
not on it, I'm not on it. So it's
Yeah.
a bit of both. I've had a lot of online teaching, which has been great. Working with loads of schools, which has been really nice to see them dance, share with them online. And I'm kind of slowly maneuvering into photography.
Oh,
So
amazing. Yeah.
yeah,
That's a nice. Yeah, it's a nice what's the word? Like a relating career. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, right?
yeah,
It works very nicely together.
yeah. No, definitely. I've been really passionate about it for, I'd say, more so the last year massively, and I've done it on the side of dance. But having this time to actually, I've never had this much time to just sit and have to think
I
ever,
know.
and I've learned
I
so.
think yeah. I think that's
Honestly,
why a lot of people are kind of turning their careers around as well. I
yeah,
think it's one of the only reasons I really managed to get this platform starting. I wouldn't have had the time. I was teaching too much.
yeah, no,
Um,
definitely,
there are positives to come out of it, but also, yeah, definitely like this.
definitely. I think it's a positive for everyone. You know, it's
Mm,
it's given time to people to be able to sit back and actually analyze and be able to sit back enough to actually look at their life
yeah,
and look at
I know.
just look at it as a whole, and to you know, do you want to do that? No, I don't want to do that anymore, or
Yeah,
I'd like to do that. And that's for me one of those moments where I I just thought there's something else I want to do, and slowly start to concentrate into, and I'm working on it now, which is photography.
super
So
exciting. Yeah,
only,
super exciting.
but I just love doing it. I love capturing the world, people,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing all your pictures in the future.
Ah!
And your work.
Yeah.
But that's great. That's really nice to hear. All right, we'll leave it there. I won't keep you much longer. We've been going for 40 minutes, so that's
No
amazing.
way, really? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I'm gonna put this. I know the time goes so quickly. When I started them, I was like, yeah, they're just gonna be like 10 minutes, just a quick chat, and then
Yeah,
it's
but you
like
know,
40 minutes later.
it doesn't help when
Sorry.
you it doesn't help when you ask me a question and I ramble on for about 30 minutes.
No, you want to hear about it. No, it's good. But I will put this on the IGTV, and I've actually figured out how to get it on YouTube, so people can watch via YouTube, and I'll send out the details soon.
Thank
But
you
yeah,
so much
thank
for
you so
having
much.
me on board as well, Fern.
It's a
Thank
really
you.
great chat. I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Yeah.
Definitely. Take
Thank
care,
you
my
so
lovely.
much. Thank
No
you everyone
problem.
for watching.
Bye,
Bye.
guys. Bye.